Welcome to my shit show. This is my life, and I'm Terry, and I'm crazy according to the world. So let me tell you how I came to be crazy, and then we will find out the truth about mental illness. Okay, let me just say that there's some strange things going on in our country right now. And I'm really on to everything because I've got an intuition of 160. So when I say that I know things, people think I'm crazy because I have dreams about things that are going to happen. And so that makes me, schizophrenic and crazy because I have people talking to me in my dreams, right? So this is how they came to the determination that I was crazy, okay? Now, this is a little strange thing I do, which is probably part of being crazy, right? Okay, I count my food, like how many days in the month are left and how much food do I have so I know if I need to purchase more food. And I do this because I'm kind of on a tight budget, so I have to do things to fit my budget. Okay, so I count my hamburgers and I have 15, and I have like 5 packs of chicken, which is 2 chicken legs in each bag. I freeze them. And so I get in there yesterday and I count my food again because I'm going back to the grocery because I need small stuff like mayonnaise, salad dressing, and, you know, like dressing for salad. And so I count my food again just to see how many days more I need. Well, all my hamburger is moved, and now I've only got 5 hamburgers and 1 pack of chicken. So somebody stole all my meat, right? Which they've done this before. I'm in Florida, and this is a real shit show down here. They steal, and if you go to the police and say somebody stole my food, they'll tell you you're a nutcase and never come back. Okay, I've been through this before. They stole $400 worth of meat one time, and the police laughed at me and said, "We don't take reports for stolen food." I said, "Oh, so you're telling me it's okay for me to walk in people's houses and steal their food? Because if that's the case, I'll just do that every month so I have food, you know? You're pretty much telling me you don't do anything about that." So, yeah. So, anyhow, that happens. Then I did my laundry, I guess, about 4 days ago, and I'm kind of weird. Like, if I don't leave my house, maybe I'll wear pajamas all day, or I won't change my clothes because why? Like, I'm not going anywhere. If I am, I get dressed, but why have a bunch of laundry if it's not necessary, right? I mean, I change my underclothes and take showers, but I don't always change my clothes every single day. So it saves money that way. So, anyhow, I have all my clothes in my closet and it's stuffed packed full, and you can't fit one more hanger in there. That's how many clothes I have. So I get in there the other day and I find 15 empty hangers, but there were none when I did my laundry. And there's a space this big in my closet where clothes were taken. So I'm pretty sure it's my sister because she has always been really jealous of me, and she has tried to drive me crazy because she owes me a lot of money. And we'll get to that, but just not right now. So I've got missing food and missing clothes, but the lock isn't broke. So that means they came in with a key, which means the bribes are taking place again. They bribe the landlord, she gives them the key, they come in and steal my shit and keep the key. It's that simple. Okay, it's happened everywhere I've lived. And it is my sister who stole a bunch of money and a bank account from me, and I'm going to explain that. Okay, for 3 days I stayed in this witch's house, which does voodoo, which I wasn't aware of that until her voodoo doll came in the mail, and that was the one she was making of me. Okay, she laughed about it. Look, a voodoo doll. Ha 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 ha. And then she tells me where to get my hair cut, and she gets a piece of my hair from the place I got my hair cut, and voila, she made a voodoo doll, right? So this crazy bitch, I'm at her house for 3 days, and when I get up in the morning, I wake up at like 7 o'clock. I had kids that I had to get to school, so I'm used to getting up early. That's me. That's what I do. That's what I've always done. And so I get up at 7. I creak out to her kitchen. I make a cup of coffee because she said it was okay. She comes up the steps with her arms crossed and this really horrible look on her face and says, "You woke me up." And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. Gee, I'm used to getting up." Well, I sleep till 11. I don't get up at 7 o'clock. So she's all mad at me because I woke her up. But I'm over there because I was abused by my spouse, who she fixed me up with. What a coincidence that I go over there and get abused after leaving abuse, right? So it just continues the pattern. So, anyhow, while she's at work, I get this message, and I believe it's from God, and he says, walk down to the end of the driveway and get the mail out of the box. So I do it, and I pull out the mail and I bring it in for her because that's what we did when she came home from work. So I'm going looking at this, and on top is a letter for me from Fifth Third Bank. But wait, I closed my account. But there's an envelope with a thick inside thing, and well, she's getting my bank account that has automatic deposits, and she's stealing the money. But wait, how is this happening? Oh, her friend Linda worked at the bank, who lived across the street from us our whole lives. And so Linda told me to close my account and open a new one, so I did that. But the old one stayed open, which went to my sister's house, who claimed she was my supervisor, that she was in charge of me, because, you know, I'm crazy, right? So she is taking this money, she's buying all these new cars, new garages, new things for her house, buying friends presents, bribing every friend I've got to never talk to me again with these little cards, restaurant cards. And this is what the mob does. They buy cars, they buy houses, and they buy cards that they load with money, and that's how they hide money, okay? And her friend Linda told her how to hide the money so she wouldn't get caught stealing. So this all happened. And then I find out that when I was in my 20s, I had this boyfriend for 7 years, and I was madly in love with him, but he was playing a game, and he made a bunch of movies without my permission, and they got put out there. And I found out while I was staying at a homeless shelter, a man came up to me and said, "Did you know you're at McCook's?" on the little videos they got there, and I said, no. So I find out that it's not just McCook's. These things were sent all over the country, outside the country, and somebody made a lot of money off of me. But wait, I thought that was my boyfriend, and I thought he loved me, right? Shows you what I know, because boy, was I blind. Or was I crazy? Yeah, that was it. So, anyhow, this happens. After moving about 35 times in the last 15, 20 years, I'm tired. And anyone else who'd been through this shit show that I've been through would be totally exhausted, probably in a mental hospital, in a corner going, bee, 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 because seriously, between the stolen food, the stolen clothes, the car tamperings, the house tamperings, the everything I've been through, it's just too much. And then they took my kids and used them as pawns, where they're getting money from that too. So like, they're all living the life of Riley in their beautiful, huge, big houses, while I live in a 300 square foot apartment. How nice. And the sad thing is, they think I don't know. So now I got this asshole next door with energy weapons that's making my blood pressure go up, trying to cause me to have a stroke or a heart attack, so I'll die and get out of the picture, right? But I'm not going anywhere, okay? This apartment sat empty for 3 months, and the guy that lived there mysteriously moved out across the parking lot here. And the apartment sat empty for 3 months, and then they moved in this man that was Mr. Friendly. And when he moved in, he told me he was having hip surgery. So me, being a good neighbor, I go and get him groceries one time, and I made him some chicken another time, and then all of a sudden my health started deteriorating. The strange thing was, he had hip surgery, right? All of a sudden I can't walk. So how did that happen? Oh, energy weapons cause nerve damage. Yeah. So I had sciatica so bad I couldn't walk. What a coincidence, right? Thought I needed hip surgery for a minute there. So I find out that this guy did not even have surgery. He's a damn liar. Nobody gets up and drives a car one day after they have hip surgery. You're not going to tell me that's possible. He was in there one day, gets out, doesn't go to rehab. Now tell me, have you ever heard of some shit like that? I'm living a shit show, okay? Then, every time I leave my house, he opens the door and says, "Where are you going? When are you coming back?" And then when I come back, he says, "Where you been? Where'd you go at 6 in the morning?" Is that creepy or what? Like, I don't freaking know him. Like, why is he questioning me? We're not married. Or are we? So all this stuff's happening, and then he gets food from the food bank, and he asks me if I want some, and what a coincidence, it's everything I've got in my cabinet, right? It's and he's saying it's cheesy rice, and it's this, and it's that, and I'm like, what a coincidence, it's the same stuff I have in my cabinet. So this shit show happened before, and they took all my canned goods and they drilled holes in the cans, and they put poison in there, and then little glue dots, and they did it to my pop cans. I'm outside scraping my window, and all of a sudden all these holes on this pop can, and the glue dots are on the can squeezing out the pop, right? but the can's not opened yet. And then I go in and all the cans have it on them, the glue, and all my canned goods. So they're poisoning me, trying to get me gone because my sister is stealing money that belongs to me, and she thinks I don't know it. The bank statement gave it away, babe. And the fact that every holiday my phone goes on the blink and they start closing all my accounts. They closed my TikTok and said I broke protocol and said something I wasn't supposed to say. I'm sorry, no, I didn't. I write little religious things like, God is writing your story, quit taking the pen from him. I mean, little cute sayings. I don't do anything wrong on there. But they took my account because they don't like the fact that I know that my kids were taken. And if I write anything about kids or comment about kids being stolen, they close my accounts. And they do it before every holiday, Mother's Day and my birthday. And they make my phone unusable, and they also make my internet unavailable. And I caught them today. All my messages were being sent to my voicemail. I didn't do that, so who did that? Oh, that's right. My sister has a burner phone with my same phone number, so she gets all my messages and then just deletes them because I see them come across the top, and then I go look for them and they're gone, right? Like, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out this stuff. I'm not an idiot. I have a 160 intuition. And yeah, I'm to the point where, there's a fine line between insanity and smarts. So if you're too smart, they just say you're crazy, and voila, dumb you down with some medicine. But babe, that ain't happening here because I've had enough. I've had enough of the bullshit, and this mental illness shit is going to cease. And I'm exposing it because mental health and counseling and medication is all a cover up for illegal doings to someone. All the stuff they've done to me, the movies, stealing my kids, it's all to shut me up. But it didn't work because I saw through it. The matrix has broken. I cracked the screen and I seen inside the screen of what they did, how it happened, how they manipulated my mind to believe I'm this horrible person that deserves nothing, so they can steal my shit and have everything, right? Wrong. 2026 is my year, and I'm here to say I am going to enjoy every day of my life. So with that, I'll close. God bless and good day. And remember, the real crazy people never say the word crazy.